Hi everyone, this is Nick again, coming to you from True Games Interactive. We've received such an overwhelming response from the Spirit System tutorial that we've decided to make another one for you guys. So today, I'm going to teach you all about the combat system of Warrior Epic. To begin, let's go check out my warrior in the war room. To do this, we're going to go ahead and click Play Now from the main menu. This is going to bring up the games list. So let's go ahead and create a game. Considering we're in the combat tutorial, let's go ahead and call this Combat System. Okay, go ahead and click OK, and this will port us to our war room. And as you can see here, I have my pit fighter. I'm going to go ahead and click on him, and this will bring up his status screen. Now, the first thing we need to note about combat is the vocab that we use. Attack equals your warrior's accuracy or your warrior's chance to hit. Defense determines your warrior's ability to dodge. Strength equals your warrior's base damage without any buffs or influences such as the enemy's defense. And lastly, critical hit equals your warrior's chance to deal double damage. Now these four stats make up what we call the base stats. Please note that as your warrior levels up, these base stats will not change. Now you're probably thinking, what the heck, what's the point of leveling my warrior if their stats aren't increasing? Hold your jungle peds there, Turbo. I come with the answers. As your warrior levels, you gain access to higher level maps and quests which contain equipment. The equipment that you receive upon quest completion is what increases your warrior's base stats. So let's go ahead and show you guys that. We're going to go down here and click on the quest book. This will open up all my quests in the Aberrast region. And as you can see here, I'm clicking on King of the Hill, highlighting King of the Hill quest, and the recommended warrior level is 30 to 40. And just below that, you can see the equipment artifacts that I can gain from completing this quest. The Northlander's Exploit for the Devotress, the Voltaic Dread for the Dungeon Archer, the Last Stand's Handgun for the Assassin, so on, so on, so on. Now this equipment is ultimately what's going to make your warrior epic. Okay, now that we've covered the warrior's base stats, the second aspect of the combat system is the warrior's resistances. While resistances are pretty self-explanatory, let's go ahead and show you what types of resistances each warrior has. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my pit fighter again, bring up his warrior status screen. And as you can see directly below my base stats, there are several colored shields which represent the warrior's resistances. So we've got piercing resistance, energy resistance, which also covers elemental damage such as fire, ice, and wind. Toxic resistance, which covers poison. Mental resistance. Normal resistance. And lastly, force resistance. Well, that about does it for the warrior's overall stats. So now, let's look at how these stats are translated in-game to the actual damage that is dealt to mobs. As you can see, there are four steps that influence actual damage being dealt to mobs. The first step in this process is the strength or base damage, which is what we covered in the base stats portion of this tutorial. The second step in the process is the base damage influencers, which includes the warrior's attack type, damage type, and warrior's base stats, such as critical hit. The third step is the damage influencers, which includes the warrior's skills that increase or decrease the warrior's damage type or stats, such as the Devo's Noble Protector skill, which increases all resistances. Damage influencers are also affected by any buffs that are infused into equipment and room upgrades purchased from the workshop. The fourth and last step of the process is the target's resistance and defense. This includes the mob's resistance to damage types as well as the mob's defense against your warrior. All four of these steps are processed into what becomes the actual damage dealt to mobs, which is what you, in turn, see in game. Well, that about covers the Warrior Epic combat system in its entirety. I hope that this info today will definitely help you in defeating other players when the upcoming PvP arrives. Wait, am I allowed to say that?